Hey guys, welcome to Immigration Central, where we provide publicly available information to educate you but not influence you in any way, or shape, I should say. So as promised, we're going to kick off our video series with immigration fraud and scam. This video is jam-packed with information, with a lot of resources, with a lot of links, and we're going to jump into go on websites, immigration websites, IRCC websites, and we're going to go to ICCRC website. It's a regulatory body for consultants, on how to validate if an immigration lawyer or an immigration consultant is legitimate. And if you come across scam or fraud, where do you report it? How do you report it? How do you identify if it is a fraud and if it's not legitimate information being provided to you? And so we're going to provide you with a lot of signs to look for and other resources to help you identify scam and identify who is legitimate and who's telling you the truth. So stick around and let's jump right in. My name is Najib Mangal. I studied immigration law, policy, and procedure. I'm also accredited settlement practitioner with past 14 years of experience in settling and integrating newcomers into community, as well as I have educational background in computer information technology. So with that, we're gonna jump in to some websites, some resources, some links that we will be sharing with you. So all that information will be available to you at the bottom in the video description. So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section or send me an email. So now we're going to be visiting a couple of different websites and also gathering some information and looking for some resources. So the first place we're going to visit, or the first web page that we're going to visit, is the IRPA, or Immigration Refugee Protection Act. So the Immigration Refugee Protection Act will tell us exactly who is an authorized representative, who can represent us, and who can provide us with an immigration advice. So the Act is Act of Parliament administered by Immigration Refugee Citizenship Canada and as well as CBSA. I will provide you more resources later on to the different Act and regulation. But let's jump into this representation part of this section. It's Section 91 of the Act. So it says, subject to this section, no person should knowingly, directly or indirectly represent or advise a person for consideration or offer to do so in connection with submission of an expression of interest under this section 10.1 or proceeding or application under this act. Aside from these different designation, so no one can provide an advice aside from a lawyer. Here it is, the subsection A, a lawyer who is a member of a good standing of a law society of a province or notary, who is a good member in good standing of chamber of the notary of Quebec. So that is one. Number two, any other member in good standing of law society of province or chamber of the notary of Quebec, including paralegals, or a member in good standing of a body designated under subsection 5. So what is subsection 5 here? The minister may, by regulation, designate a body who's a member in good standing, may represent and advise a person. So we're talking about here immigration consultant of Canada regulatory body. So that is a body that is designated by the Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada Minister to regulate the immigration consultant, and those consultants are in good standing and they can provide the immigration advice. So the Act allows those three. Then next we will go into the Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship webpage and learn about representative. So the first thing first is learn about representative. We're going to go to this section, type of representation or representative. There's two types of representative, paid and unpaid. So if the authorized is paid representative, they must be a lawyer and paralegal who are member in good standing of Canadian Provincial or Territorial Law Society, notary member in good standing of the Chambre des Notaires de Quebec, and citizenship or immigration consultant who are member in good standing of immigration consultant of Canada Regulatory Council, ICCRC. Those are the paid. And unpaid representative or third parties are family member, friends, and other parties. Let's say you are receiving some assistance from a settlement agency, or you're a caseworker. Yes, they can provide you with that is of course internally here in Canada. That is an agency can guide you or refer you, so they can represent you on some occasion in some cases. So can you pay these unpaid representative? Of course not. And so the immigration representative, or what can they do for you? So let's go over that. Explain and give you advice on your immigration or citizenship option. Help you choose the best immigration program for you. Fill out and submit your immigration or citizenship application. Communicate with the government of Canada on your behalf. Represent you in an immigration or citizenship application hearing. Sometimes application go in front of the immigration officer, CBSA, or tribunals to IRB. So who can represent you? The immigration consultant or authorized immigration consultant and lawyers. They can represent you in hearings. And if they can advertise that they can give immigration and citizenship advice. So that is now two types: immigration, paid and unpaid. So add or cancel representative. So let's check this out. Let's go back to this. I will reiterate what I just said earlier. Do you need a representative? Do you have to have a representative? Should you have a representative? Will that expedite your process of application? Will that give it a special consideration of some kind? That is untrue, and that is not true at all. You do not need to use a representative or prepare or submit an immigration application at all. You can get all that form and instruction you need to apply for a visa, permit, or citizenship for free on this website. But some applications are actually really complex. It's not one application, it's multiple application. It needs a lot of documentation, pre and post. So for some of those applications, I would go to an immigration consultant or immigration lawyer to get advice on some of those steps and processes. So if you use an immigration citizenship representative, choose whether you want to use an authorized or paid representative or unpaid representative. Give your representative names. Well, you have to provide that information to the IRCC, and you will be completing a form that is called the use of representative. and within that use of representative, you can appoint a representative. And if that representative is not providing information to your case, or they're not competent in any way or form, or they are too busy representing a lot of different application, then you can definitely cancel. You can cancel that representative and get someone else to represent you and take on your case. So you can, this website right here say you can cancel representative. You do not need to stick with that same representative even though they're not doing the work that they need to do for you. So you can change, yes, you can change a representative as well. Yeah. So this section right here, find out if your representative is authorized. This is a very important section of this link, or this part regarding representation. So bear with me. You can check if a person is licensed to represent immigrants or to give advice. So there are the licensed body that they can represent you. Citizenship and Immigration Consultant must be a member of ICCRC. Lawyer or notary must be a member of Canadian Province or Territory Law Society, or the Chamber of the Notary de Quebec. We've just saw that at the Act, so this is kind of aligning with what the Act was saying. It's exactly replica of what that was saying. We will hear this information one more time in the ICCRC website as well, because we're going to be going there and checking that out. Paralegals, Ontario only, it says, must be member of the Law Society of Upper Canada. So here are the Canadian and Province Territorial Law Society right here. So these are all 13 societies that represents or regulates lawyers in each province. So if there are lawyers, there are paid representative, and they're authorized. They must be member of these bodies right here. So with that, let's go to and visit the ICCRC website. They have really good tips, and if we go through those tips together today, and we will be avoiding most of those scams and frauds, immigration frauds. So bear with me, and by the end of this video, you will be able to know exactly where to go to authorize, verify if that representative, the paid representative, is actually regulated and they're authorized to represent you. So it's in here at the bottom of this web page. So bear with me here again. So tip 1, titles and diplomas. It says unlicensed immigration consultant may use title that they have different have different meaning, but that can be seen interchangeable. The profession designation notario has nothing to do with the Notary de Quebec. So if they're using different name to make you believe that they're authorized representative, they are not. Tip number 2, a person who holds diploma from immigration practitioner program is not licensed immigration consultants yet. They must be registered with Immigration Refugees ICCRC, pardon me, in order to offer immigration services in exchange for fee. Myself, I have a diploma and I graduated from the program, but I cannot provide you with tips, or I cannot represent you, and I won't be able to take on your case. So if you ask me any questions through the chat, or comment section, I will be referring you to publicly available information that will help you with your process, but I will not be able to give you advice. And that is true. I will be acquiring, however, my designation hopefully this year, which is the last year, and the body that regulates an immigration consultant is changing. So yeah, we'll make another video on that in the future. Signatures and form. Beware if you're not asked to sign retainer agreement. A retainer agreement is also known as a service contract or service agreement, or a contract simply. This is a document prepared by an immigration consultant stating that they are providing immigration services for you in exchange for a fee, and they are outlining exactly what they are offering and what they cannot offer to you, including fees and dates, and it has to be signed and given to you. Be mindful if you're asked to sign retainer agreement with a company, an agent, or someone else instead of the licensed immigration consultant. So again, it is the individual that is an immigration consultant. So you have to sign with that individual, not someone else, their secretary or their assistants or someone else. So it has to be signed by the immigration consultant themselves, because they have a registration number that is given to them by ICCRC. They have to sign that retainer agreement. Tip number 5: be aware if you're not asked to sign use of representative, or if the person you hired for an immigration service is signed declaring that they're a friend or family when they're not. So if they're not legally authorized representative, sometimes they might say, I'm a friend or family, but they charge you a fee. So do not. I would not suggest that. And if IRCC finds out, they will turn down your application. So make sure you sign that form IM 5476, a form of representation. Use of representative, I'm sorry. Tip 6: do not sign blank form from containing false information. So do not sign any blank form or forms that doesn't have the correct information. Would you sign a blank bank check and give it to someone? No. So that same applies here. So you do not sign it. Do not provide that information to anyone, or falsified information in that regard, because that will affect your application. So if you hired an immigration consultant, they will go through an interview process with you. So make sure that information that you provided is on your application, that they're not adding any other information, or you're not signing anything that is not your information. Be wary if the person you hired for immigration services does not give you a copy of the form both have signed. If you both have signed those forms, you must have a copy of that. So it's for your record. Service and payment. Tip number 8: be cautious if you're asked for cash payment. So if you give someone cash, can you track that or trace it or prove it somehow that you've given someone that cash? No. For your record, if it's a check or if it's anything, make sure you have a copy of that, and you are given a receipt for all services. Make sure you receive. Okay, here we go. That says that solidifies that there. Make sure you receive invoice and receipts for all payment. 10. Beware if you're charged fees for various services while the immigration service is included for the fees that you're paying. So don't pay for anything. They might say, well, that was not included here or there in the retainer agreement. The retainer agreement, remember, outlines all those services that they will provide you with. So do not pay for anything extra. Go back to that retainer agreement and see if that service is in there, included. Pay 0. Be careful if a travel agent, an educational agent, or recruiter offers you immigration services. Are they designated? Are they authorized? No. So be aware of that. They are recruiters. They recruit you for work, or they might be referring you to an immigration consultant, or they're working with an immigration consultant, or they're working with a recess, or colleges or university, but they cannot provide you with immigration advice or consultant. They might know some of those processes, but they're not authorized to provide you with that information. Be aware of guarantees. So be aware if you are given guarantees or processing time regarding the immigration application. Anyone who says I'm guaranteeing, it's incorrect. That's a telltale sign of that they're not a legal representative. At the end of the day, immigration officers makes decision on your application, not a person or immigration consultant. They cannot waive any restriction, or they cannot expedite process because they're an immigration lawyer or consultant. They don't make that decision. They have no saying in that decision process. It's the Immigration, Refugee, Citizenship Canada, and their officers. They make those decisions. Be alert if you're guaranteed a job and immigration at the same time. Example, give me $10,000, we'll find you a job and get you your immigration paper. Incorrect. If you give me double the money, I'm going to make it faster. If you're not, well, you have to wait, and we're not going to prioritize your application. That is incorrect, and be aware of that. If anybody says immigration, I'm going to finding job is it requires a labor market impact assessments, or LMIA, from within Canada, and employers actually applies for that, not your recruiter, no one else. It's the employer applies, and they work with the immigration consultant and to obtain that documents for you. No one can guarantee an application approval. That is true. Well, that's simple as that. Connection. Be aware of person you're considering hiring for immigration services. Mention that they know someone in the immigration department that they can help you with the immigration application. That is incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. In Canada, bribery, knowing someone in ministry that they can somehow assist you or help you with the application process, or bend laws and regulations for you, that is incorrect. It does not work that way. So be aware of that. Worth checking. Always check, make sure your immigration consultant is in good standing on the ICCRC online public registry. We are going to that registry, by the way. So let's finish this, and we're going to come back to this. This is very important steps. Remember, I said we're going to go and verify who is a good representative in good standing and they're authorized. Make sure your immigration consultant has error in admission insurance. Yes, in case they made that, they lost your documentation, they lost the entire application, or they completely missed your application application deadline. So they must have the error in admission insurance, and they're required by ICCRC, all regulated immigration consultant. They must obtain and have that piece of assurance. Be aware if the person you are considering hiring for immigration services demonstrates an apparent lack of knowledge when you're asking specific question about immigration or ICCRC Code of Professional Conduct. So make sure they are competent and they know exactly what they're asked by the regulatory body, and actually they have the knowledge. They have the knowledge as to what they're doing and how they can help you with the application. And last but not least, be aware you're encouraged to lie on the application process. Please do not do that. Lying on your application, knowingly or unknowingly, can hinder your application process. So with that, let's jump into the online public registry. Again, if you haven't liked this video, please do so right now and give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever works for you, and please subscribe or follow us. I'm going to be producing contents weekly, and these contents are coming directly from public databases and acts and public websites. I'm condensing it to explain immigration process. So let's go back to, this is very important, folks, so pay attention. In this registry, public registry, you can find an immigration consultant by their name, first name, and if you have their registration number or RCIC number, you can plug it in here and click search. It will find that person for you. Their status, if they're on absence of leave, or they're suspended, they're active, they passed away, and so on. Company name, ABC Company, or such and such immigration, Canada Immigration, they call themselves. Plug it in, click, and see if that will come up. For example, let's try it. I have a friend of mine, but they're not affiliated with this video or anything like that. So, what was that? Frontera. Yes, that's how you spell it. So let's click. I think there we go. There is the consultant identification. There's the contact information, and of course they are active. So you can also search by country. Let's country, just say India. We're going to go India, well, no capital I, that's where it is. So everyone in India, so all regulated, active immigration consultants, and you can go by that. You can also go by province. Let's say Alberta. We have billions of them. There it is. Resign, active, active, resign, active, active, and here we go, and so forth and so on. So if someone says, I am an immigration consultant, make sure you have their business card. You come to this public registry, plug in their number, click search. They should come up on this website right here. This is the best way, or I would say the safest way, to find an immigration consultant. You can Google search them, but once you find the company name or the individual name, bring it back to this public registry and plug in their number, name in here, or their company name in here to see if they are authorized individuals. So, and you can also find anyone by their last and first, medical, by their letters, and so I should see by last name. So if you click N, you should get all the N's here. There we go, all of them, and there's a list of all N's by city, by country, by first name, by company name, by their consultant identification. So you can do it by all different criteria. So going back to this page right here, let's go to the law society of one of those regulatory bodies. Law Society of Alberta. Let's click on that. There it is. There's the public registry. And if I go here online, if I say immigration consultant, I review, no, I was looking, okay, immigration consultant, and let's say there's immigration consultant or immigration lawyer. I'm looking for immigration lawyer, but let's see. Oh, LLP. So here's an immigration lawyer. That gives me, okay, this website is not affiliated with us or with me at all. So, oh, very happy lady. So let's go. Usually you go under About Us. There she is. We're going to grab her last name and first name, plug it in to, let's remove this, to the Law Society of Alberta. So she's practicing in Calgary. So paste. We're going to take that first name. Ouch. Sorry. We're going to cut it and put it here. Paste. Search. Okay. I know what's going on. Did you see that little squiggly thing on top of the A? I think that is stopping us from searching for this person. So let's go search again. Should give us. Voila, there it is. So this person has been in enrollment since 2006. They're in good standing, and there she is. And so you can do that same for. You can do that same for every. You can do that for each province. If you are hiring a different immigration lawyer in a different province, same thing. Law Society of British Columbia, they should have a public registry that you can just plug in. That, yep, here we go. You put their name and city, last name, and they should come up if they are authorized and legal immigration lawyers. So with that, yes, you can file a complaint in here against, so if you click on here, it will bring you back to all the regulatory bodies. You can file a complaint against your immigration consultant or a lawyer. So with that, now you know how to verify and how to identify if your immigration consultant or a lawyer is legitimate and they are authorized to practice and provide advice. So what we've done is we've gone to Immigration Refugee Protection Act, and then we went to IRCC website and ICCRC website. We verified and we found the exact information. It aligns with one another, and so now you have that information. I'm hoping that you can use it to your advantage and help you with the immigration process. And don't forget to like our webpage, follow and subscribe, and click on that notification button so we can just send you more notification on new videos. I'm working on content and I'm building those content. It's coming directly from the verified and legitimate resources in the immigration sector. So I'm hoping that you enjoy the video again, and stay safe, and may God bless you.